この番組はご覧のスポンサーの提供でお送りします。Alrighty, welcome everyone. I'm Teeaboo and I am here on Friday for Princess Tutu episode 10. We're in the double digits, the big 1-0. Things are going down and we are heading toward the mid-core thingy segment, semi-finale, whatever you want to call it. Stuff is happening. Last week's episode, episode 9, started with a bunch of introspection for mostly Fakir and Rue, some similar things for Ahiru, but mostly stuff that we've already heard, before 𝓡𝓪𝓰𝓻𝓮𝓽𝓼 decided to insert himself into the lives of all of his protagonists instead of just Princess Tutu, and, you know, maybe he's been doing that from the start. We don't know. We don't know. And guides them all on a bit of a collision course where they all find themselves, Rue as Claire, I don't know what to, Claire, whatever, Rue, Fakir, Muto, some random art student, and Princess Tutu, all in one room, all battling over a heart shard, and the future of their own heroic journey and their own, like, reasons for being. It's awkward. We did return the Shard of Devotion to Muto. We don't know what that's going to change, what effects that's going to have, and we still haven't really concluded this scenario situation thing. We had some, like, we spooked the crap out of Rue as we returned the Heart Shard, but everybody's kind of still here, and nobody's really happy with the other people who are here, except for Tutu Ahiru, who just doesn't know enough to know what's going on. I'm expecting a little bit more battle for right now, and then, I don't know, maybe we need to deal with some of the underlying questions of things, like, what the fuck is happening, and who should we be rooting for, and is 𝓡𝓪𝓰𝓻𝓮𝓽𝓼 really as bad an author as he seems to be, and what's up with this library place, and what's up with Adel and stuff, and there are a billion questions. I expect maybe half an answer over the course of this next episode, but I'm here for it because Princess Tutu continues to be an absolute delight to watch. It's intriguing enough to keep me intrigued, but it's also goofy and funny enough to be really enjoyable to watch regardless, and it's well animated and fun and stylistically interesting and good. This is a really fun show. So, given that it's a really fun show, let's watch some more. I've got episode 10 up and ready. There will be 2 versions of this reaction. Picture-in-picture version available in the description, timer-based version on YouTube. You want to do a syncy thing with the timer-based version, you're welcome to do so. Just get your copy ready, because the beep beep timer to count you down will be coming at you right now. Is that the Tutu gem? Oh, we're getting a Cinderella story. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Sounds a lot like Tutu. That's a different sword. Right? Demo. That's an odd way to question the Cinderella story. It's never addressed in the tale. It's never addressed. Okay. Yep. 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 Uh-huh. Creator. More angles. Yep, that's me. No, that's my job. That too. Whoa. Empathy. Ooh. I fully believe you. You're the dutiful knight. You would do what you had to do. Wow, Muto. Well, there's a clear statement of intent, which is like for the first time from Muto. Why are you tremble? Oh, did he cut it? It's the glass slipper. He has to find the person that... He has to find the duck. She can't... She can't henshin. He cut the thread. This is good. Okay, Drosselmeyer. Mm-hmm. That flash of Adel there. Qua. And the one person who you really... Oh, shit, man. He's waiting. Why was he trembling? What's the source of his fear? Oh, hello. Quack. Oh. Give me that shit. Give me that shit. Give me that shit. No, no, no. Give it. Yeah, you do. So cute. Oh my god. God damn it, Fakir. What happens if he submerges in water? Turns into a duck. Well, probably that alligator. Fucking... What the fuck? Muto being perfect as usual. Of course. Devotion, maybe. To his dance. He can dance with some feeling and a little bit of a smile. Marriage. That's polygamy. Uh-huh. That's even more polygamy. Oh, right, buddy. He was licking his pants. Uh-huh. A special class on what? I would not take his advice, but alright. Stealth mission. He took it into the shower with him. Yup. Ruh-roh. Bed under. Oh, chair under. Same diff. Scars. Could you leave that on the table really quick? It's a birthmark? Snatch that shit and run. Fuck! Nope. No, he doesn't, but tell us. Just tell us. Yikers. Oh, double yikers. Maybe don't open the window. Oh, it's a note? Ooh. Ha ha ha. That's not ominous at all. No, Muto, don't be a stupid. Alright, this is interesting. An antique shop? What is the knights? Swords? Just looking for a weapon? Who is this? Wait. Is this? And he's not the knight? What is happening? What the fuck? Okay, it has to be his dad, right? He's not the knight, he's a reincarnation? So the scars aren't scars, they're a birthmark based on his fate. Accepting and There's no choice, man. You're already a player. What's up with his dad? Not his dad. His adoptive father. Yeah, little bit interesting. Yeah. Of course. He has no heart. Yet he is alive. And he knows. So Muto's frozen in time? Sounds about right. Oh, shit. And you are the knight. Fly free, little burb. Oh, shit. And that makes sense how he would... Yep. Yep. To protect him. Because you don't know what that means, fam. What? Because your fate leads to death. Oh, he's right on the money. We're getting way more than half an answer here, dude. It's amazing. Out of pure love and devotion. Dad? What is... reluctance? Yeah. No, he's entirely honest about his love and care for Muto. Certainly, he grew up with him. Aww. Yep. Hey, can I get my pendant so we can talk this shit out? Buddy. Frilsies, though, can I get my pendant back? Oh. He's a good boy. Hey, thanks. Well... So I will give your pendant to a stupid duck, and then you'll never get it. Ha ha ha. Sweet. Regret. He's right this time. Never dreamed you would really? Wait. So he knows all of that as a legend. What? Okay, uncertainty is fine. No. He needed that information. That's more like it. Yeah, if he really is that reincarnation, he needs that sword. Your duty as a parent is to arm him for what is coming. Fuck. I love that. I love that so much. Oh, hey, buddy. Oh, he never read the end? His own end? Choose. Reject. Reject. Reject his glory. Hi, don't go in the church. Also have your regret. Ooh, if he gets regret, then he'd know that he might regret marrying, Claire. That would be great. Not anymore. Uh-oh. Not yet. Shit. Nope. Nope. What? Did we just get teleported? Sword. The hilt? It's not the same sword. Okay, it's the one in the... Oh, buddy! I think you're fucking crazy. I think you're fucking crazy. I don't like that. Oh, no. Yeah. Nope. Yeah. Yeah. You want to bet? You want to fucking bet? I'll bet this boy can change some fate. Just riding in like a boss. Where'd he even get the horse? Oh, he had a horse. The coward? No, the dutiful knight. Ha ha. Ha. Breaking through a little bit, are we? Is she just gone? She's just gone. She's just gone. Ding! You're kind and good and just. Later! Please realize. But what? What? No. Ha! Ah! Ah! Yes! Finally, 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 finally. Just nani? Ow, my throat. Oh my god! So much makes more sense. Muto is frozen because his story never ended. Okay. Don't know how to think about that. Whoa! Answers and answers to questions that I didn't even have, really. Whoa. Fakir childhood stuff. Revelation that Fakir is not the knight from the story, but instead the reincarnation of the knight from the story, which makes so much more sense, and also none at all, because Muto is dropped out of the story, right? We see it. Oh my god. Alright, I wrote down a couple of timestamps that we gotta look at. Hold up. Boom, with the Knight's Blade. He just appears at the exact, physical age that he is now without a heart, and is brought back here to Charon and Fakir's place. Fakir himself being an orphan child taken in after his parents had died. If that's true, we don't necessarily know that that's true, but that means, the bleed through is really significant, right? For the reincarnation of the knight from the story to be born here, that means that Drosselmeyer's influence over this world does exist. Okay. Okay. Oh. The heart shard of regret held by Charon holds him from doing anything, right? Prevents him from taking the action that he needs. I love the B plot of this episode. I love Charon's situation, struggle, and resolution to it. That's fantastic. And I love the moment when the Shard and Charon decide to step in different directions as Tutu pulls the regret from him, which is at 17 minutes-ish. This is, the best. We go from this close-up to just this sequence where he steps in one direction, opening himself to the light from above, and the Shard of Regret steps behind. He can move forward now that he's not held back by his regrets. Oh, it's so good. That's so good. And then beyond that, if, oh my gosh, it's not even Fakir's choice. Fakir makes the decision in this episode to reject his own fate, but also to accept it by taking up the blade, by taking up the mantle of the knight, right? Which inevitably leads to his death if the story is to be believed, and it may or may not. We don't know how far Drosselmeyer's influence leads, or whether things are really set in stone, and it seems like, as we're building up into this, Rue is using fate as the bludgeon that carves the path for her, saying, oh, this is your fate, there's nothing that can be done to change it, just accept it, just go with it, it's all good. But that makes fate out to be a tool of the unjust, and a tool of the manipulative, and a tool of the evil. So we don't really know how fate functions in this world. It'll take until Fakir either dies or doesn't for us to really understand, I think. But if Fakir is choosing to accept that fate, then Charon, his regrets are irrelevant. Whether he showed him the 𝓝𝓼𝓼 or not, that was where Fakir was going, right? His job as father, as parent, which he accepts by the end of the episode when he calls him my son, clearly indicating to us that he had not actually accepted that up until this point, and that he was just terrified of leading this kid to his own doom. But regardless of that, his job as father is to prepare his child as well as possible for the fate that awaits him, whatever that fate may be. It's not his lot to determine what that fate might be. And so by holding back, by withholding the sword, the tool of his trade from him, he's making it impossible not only for Fakir to accomplish his fate, but to even have that choice, right? It's exactly the same as attempting to prepare a child for the outside world. If you hold back and don't teach them about the horrors of the world in order to protect them, what you're doing is failing as a parent to arm them with the tools that they need to succeed, or at least the tools that they must have in order to have the choice to succeed, right? You can think of it as like education, right? If a kid doesn't have an education, the chance for them to be able to actually be the author of their own destiny is rather slim in today's world. It just is. Now, maybe they'll find some amazing talent, or they'll be a genius actor or musician or whatever without any formal study of any kind. Maybe. But the likelihood that they'll have the autonomy to choose that is really low. Preparation before sending someone out into the world is necessary and is a duty of the parent. And so this whole situation, and for him to have the shard of regret that holds him back, thus causing him to take actions that will lead to infinitely more regret, right? Oh, it's so good. This is so well written. I love it. 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 I love it a lot. Okay. Rue is real creepy. The dance of the horrifying crow mask crow people is so wrong. It's so like it's so cringe-inducing, right? It's so fake. There's nobody here to celebrate their wedding. She's like coerced Tutu to be there and tied her up so that she'll be a witness to this situation. Holy fuck. Yeah, why do you demand that I be yours? Who are you? What are you? And then Fakir riding in on his dope-ass horse just into the middle of the hall to interrupt the ceremony. That's straight out of a storybook sort of situation. It's dope. It's so dope. And, of course, the fact that Fakir knows. He knows, right? And he can connect that to the duck if he wants to, right? Which means we have a reconciliation of emotions coming through. Fakir is dismissive of Ahiru, antagonistic toward Tutu, and empathetic toward the duck. And now he has to reconcile all three of those sets of feelings because they're all one individual that he feels all those things toward. And he just had all of the information presented for him to figure it all out. If he takes this info and uses it intelligently, meaning that he stalks Ahiru for a little while and discovers that she turns into a duck sometimes, that could be super interesting. Ooh, ooh. Amazing. And even in the same moment, right, like, he's gotten a bit of reconciliation of a sort with Tutu because he understands what she's going for. She says it straight out. I just want to do what the prince wishes. That's what he wants. That's what we need. And he's like, why didn't you kill Crib? Because she hurts too. Tutu is not, like, bound by that simplicity. Oh, okay. I need to look up some things. I want to look up the definition of Lohengrin. I want to look up what this says. This is something about a waltz, right? I got some things to look up, and also some things to like reaffirm about the whole like rejection glory situation. So give me a sec. Probably gonna cut here. Okay. I don't know what the coda part means, but this is Cinderella waltz. I don't know what the coda part is. That's all I got. Okay. More stuff. Lohengrin is a romantic opera, first performed in 1850, written by Richard Wagner. I'm going to read the synopsis of it. Give me a minute. Oh man, this play is really complicated. I don't fucking know, man. There's some swan shit, there's some boats and stuff, there's some swords and things, and there's this dude named Telramund, and this other dude named Ortrud, and some other shit, and I don't even know, man. There's a lot. It's all about, it's all about, like, weddings and trying to keep a wedding from occurring. So there's, like, some stuff that makes sense here for this to be the Lohengrin sword, because Lohengrin is this opera. But, implications? I don't know. Okay. Now, I've jumped around a bunch, but I want to address, like, certain key points of this episode, and I think they all, as they so often do in Princess Tutu, they all circle back up to the opening sequence. Symbols of everybody here, right? Sword for Fakir, pendant for Ahiru, everybody except for the prince who's up on top, right? We think. The slippers and the feather both are the like two sides, two options of 𝓡𝓪. And then our next scene, I think, is the top of the clock tower, right? With the sword above? Right. So there's this like staircase moving up, and then this feels like it's up above, but I don't know. And as though I feel like putting the symbol of the prince as the like main hand of the clock and about to hit midnight makes me think that this is the tick 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 of fate leading us to the eventuality of midnight. It also fits with Cinderella, of course, right? But it's that the prince's fate is coming, you know? Oh, okay, and then more symbols of multiple characters intertwined, the feathers in the background, and then the thorns that have been so associated with Rue wrapped around and entangling the sword of Muto, which is exactly what she goes for over the course of this episode, is to entangle him and literally tie him down with marriage, right? As feathers drift down. And then, but the thing about this is like the reason that I got so silent as soon as we led through this is not only the final line, did the prince really love that maiden, which I think is fascinating for its own reasons, but more so like, who's Cinderella in this story? Obviously, over the course of this episode, we tell a Cinderella twist narrative, with the pendant acting as the glass slipper which Princess Tutu leads behind, which leads the eventual prince. In this case, though, he is not the prince of the grander narrative, of the sub-narrative, he functions as the Cinderella prince, goes out and seeks her, except that instead of going out and seeking her, he withholds the glass slipper, the pendant, the symbol of her transformation, and, like, tries to keep it away from her, plays keep away. But, narratively, what that does is, like, in the story of Cinderella, the story is that the prince goes out and seeks Cinderella to find out who this person is who he met in a flurry of dance, right? They dance together that night. He falls in love instantly, supposedly, according to the story, and then goes seeking the woman whose foot will fit the glass slipper, seeking out who is the real person behind the guys that I just saw, right? And the whole goal of the story is that it doesn't matter that she's a soot cleaner, a chimney sweep, is essentially what Cinderella is, right? Cinderella, girl of the ashes. She's it doesn't matter that she's of low standing because he loves her, right? That's the whole story, right? And that individuals can ascend through luck and chance and stuff. But instead, what we have is a complete reversal. Fakir, the prince, tries to keep the slipper away from Cinderella, and Cinderella, in attempting to get it back and prevent him from figuring out who she is, finds out who he is underneath, right? She gets to see behind the mask of the prince, who's actually kind of like the princess. But then the more interesting and confusing thing is that the Cinderella-ish narrative could function for any of the characters. It could function for all of the characters. It's all of them at the same time. Wow. Regardless, what this leads to is this understanding that, like, people are more than they appear to be, and are more than the symbology that surrounds them. And a part of that is, like, we've been continuously giving Muto humanity and autonomy and emotion and turning him into a person, into a character. In this episode, Muto expresses that in like no uncertain terms for what seems like the first time to me, when he very clearly tells Fakir, no, I want my heart back. This is what I want. You're getting in my fucking way. So he's actually taking an active role in his own life, in his own story. Ah! Ah! But then there's another layer to it too, right? Which is that 𝓡𝓪 can only see Fakir as the prince, right? Can only see him as a thing to be obtained, and still as a thing, right? Doesn't respect his autonomy that he's gaining. And Fakir I think I just said sees Fakir that way, but I meant Muto. Fakir can really only see him as this like individual without a heart with immense compassion who desperately needs to be protected from his own compassion, and that shows us some of the vulnerability behind Fakir. But the question at the end here, did the prince really love that maiden? Oh, what it's really asking in the Cinderella story is, did the prince really love Cinderella, or did he love the image of her that he met on that one night, right? Did he love the gorgeous, outfitted in finery lady who he met at that ball, or did he love that maiden behind her? And what it's saying is people are multiple things. People are multiple layers, right? Okay. And then, over the course of this episode, we have one character, and one character only, who sees multiple layers behind another character, and that character is Fakir, who sees 3 separate layers behind Princess Tutu. She is Princess Tutu, she is Ahiru, and she is the duck. There is only one character at this point in the narrative who can even comprehend another person in fullness, right? Who can even comprehend all of the various sides that we know of as an audience of that individual. And it only works because Ahiru is a simple individual, but Fakir sees her as the worthless Cinderella girl. He sees her as the glorious, outfitted in finery Princess Tutu, and he sees her as the vulnerable, quiet duck. He sees all sides of her, and that means that the door is open for him to actually love her, right? Okay, it's more and more obvious that the person standing at the edge of the water side in the ED it has to be Fakir, right? Whether it's ever demonstrated to us or not, but it is Fakir. I love it. I'm so excited. This episode is so good. This episode is so good. No intention of ceasing. What if I do? Yada yada. I want to get my heart back. Do not get in the way. No matter what fate awaits me. Accept fate. Happiness. He can obtain happiness by accepting his fate. Now, the reject fate glory. I don't really know. I don't know what that part is going to be. And then, okay, there's a little flash of Adel there, just the teensiest flash, like he's rebuilding her, like he's working on that piece in order to put it inside of her. And then she is an open, empty shell, right? We see this like hole in her back, so he's obviously working on the inner workings of Adel. All right, the whole like trying to get the pendant back situation is pretty great. Crocodilia is pretty terrifying and really strange. Pike and Lilie are a thing. Neko Sensei is a thing. Scars and birthmarks are a thing. Really nice stationery. Just wanted to throw that out. I think the stationery is really pretty. And the antique shop and weapons dealer, Charon, his adopted father. And we meet a young Fakir. This is so important to us. We meet and understand a young Fakir, and we understand more than anything exactly why he acts the way that he does toward Muto. We see the sequence of events. We see Muto putting himself in harm's way over and over. We see the vow made by Fakir that he will protect Muto, not that he will become the armor that this utterly empathetic, overly sympathetic, incredibly compassionate individual who is innately vulnerable because of his own nature, he will be the armor, the shield, the sword for that individual because that individual cannot protect himself. Boom! Suddenly, everything Fakir has done up until this point makes perfect sense. However, it's also a little bit twisted, and it's built up in exasperation almost is I think the best word. There's a lot, years and years of dealing with Muto's shit makes Fakir a little bit testy. And so all the scenes that we see of Fakir where Fakir is like, smack, Muto, stay in bed, fucking stop reading books, don't jump off balconies, Please, I'm just trying to protect you. Holy shit, man. Stop killing yourself. Makes a lot of sense. Even if it's not entirely the nicest thing in the world, it's exactly what we've been looking for from Fakir, right? Or at least what I've been looking for is like, Fakir acts like too much of an asshole. There's a reason for it. What's the reason? So we've been able to assume, now we get our solid explanation. Yas! Yas! Also, that Muto seems to be frozen in time, which I'm going to assume has something to do with the fact that his story is incomplete and he was bamfed out of it before it could be completed. That's pretty interesting. It also makes me question whether this town of, like, Gold Clock, whatever, is, just, like, the dregs. Just, like, this is where all the unfinished stories poop themselves out, and all of the characters just have to deal with that shit. I don't know, man. Ah, fascinating. Fascinating. I love this episode. I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay, I'm gonna look up staff and stuff. In terms of interesting things, there were plenty of those same kinds of cool angles and such that we've been seeing recently. Not a lot super standout about this episode that's like way above and beyond the rest of Princess Tutu. Still a fantastic episode. That's not a knock against it in any way. But I think I'm just going to check out the staff and see who we've got, see if there's anything intriguing that makes me think of anything intriguing, and then we'll probably wrap. So, script Mamiko Ikeda, storyboard Kyoko Sayama, episode director Kyoko Sayama, who also did 8, which was 2 episodes ago. Okay. I've got nothing for Ikeda. She's worked on a bunch of things, a couple of Madhouse shows, a couple of other stuffs, nothing crazy. I think she did a great job regardless. Kyoko Sayama did episode 8 as well. Storyboards on Railgun, storyboards on Hunter x Hunter. A lot of storyboard things, a lot of humory storyboard things. I remember looking this person up before. Number of humorous storyboards and stuff. Cool. And is wife of animator Tetsuya Kumagai, right? And Kyoko Sayama also directed. Okay, nothing super crazy, standout, exceptional, or making me think like, oh, something about blah 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 makes me intrigued. Just a solid episode, and I think it's the dialogue and the writing of this episode and the plot points that make it a fascinating episode, more than it being like exceptionally animated or exceptionally stylistically interesting. It's just a really solid turn of events, for all of our characters, really. So, what's next? I don't know. I have no idea. It feels like we're building really fast toward finality, which makes me really wonder if there's gonna be a reset at the core. Similar to certain other shows where there's a forgetting of things. Like, what if all of the heart shards that we've obtained so far get scattered again or something like that? We have to work in a different way to make things happen. I don't know. I have no idea what's coming. I think this episode is fantastic. I think that seeing the vulnerability in Fakir, the way that the Cinderella story interacts with the story that is told over the course of the episode, and the just bits and pieces of revelation and answers over this one make me thrilled. I'm excited to see what comes next. Let's wrap. Me, Teeaboo, this 2-2-10. If I missed things, throw them in the comments. Otherwise, I'll see you next week for episode 11. Peace.